Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines. RBI keeps accommodative stance with unchanged key lending rates for the 8th consecutive time. Repo rate remains at 4% while reverse repo rate at 3.35%. Indian Air Force is celebrating its 89th anniversary today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extend greetings to the air warriors. Over 93 crore 17 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate at 97.96%. Maharashtra launches week-long mission Kavach Kundal to vaccinate 15 lakh people daily from today. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia inaugurates a new terminal building at Jolly Grant Airport in Uttarakhand's Dehradun today. Prime Minister of Denmark Mette Frederiksen to be on a 3-day visit to India from tomorrow. India and Nepal review implementation of ongoing cross-border railway links and overall bilateral cooperation in New Delhi. Indian grappler Anshu Malik scripts history as she becomes the first Indian woman to win a silver medal in the World Wrestling Championships. In IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad to take on defending champions Mumbai Indians at Abu Dhabi, while Royal Challengers Bangalore to face Delhi Capitals in Dubai this evening. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Reserve Bank of India has maintained a status quo on interest rates for the 8th consecutive time and retained the monetary stance as accommodative while announcing the monetary policy in Mumbai today. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said,
based on an assessment of the evolving macroeconomic and financial conditions and the outlook, the MPC voted unanimously to maintain status quo with regard to the policy repo rate and by a majority of 5-1 to retain the accommodative policy stance. Consequently, the policy repo rate remains unchanged at 4% and the stance remains accommodative as long as necessary to revive and sustain growth on a durable basis and continue to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the economy while ensuring that inflation remains within the target going forward.
The RBI has also maintained FY22 GDP growth target at 9.5%. The governor said the central bank sees Q2 FY22 GDP growth at 7.9% compared to 7.3% earlier. He added that growth impulses were strengthening and inflation trajectory may be shifting downwards in contrast to initial expectations. Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal Vivek Chaudhary has said that the prompt actions in response to developments in eastern Ladakh were a testimony to the IAF's combat readiness. He said the IAF must demonstrate to the nation that external forces will not be allowed to violate Indian territory. The Air Chief Marshal said this while reviewing the ceremonial parade at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad on the occasion of the 89th anniversary of the Indian Air Force today. He said it is the sacred duty of the Air Force to protect the nation's sovereignty and integrity at any cost.
The security environment in our region and beyond has been impacted by a complex interplay of geopolitical forces. Moreover, the advent of new domains over and above the traditional domains of land, sea and air have resulted in a paradigm shift in the way military operations will be conducted. In sync with the changing nature of warfighting, ongoing capability enhancement in the Indian Air Force is aimed at providing the optimum means for employing air power and achieving desired effects across domains, swiftly and decisively.
Air Chief Marshal said the year gone by has been challenging yet extremely rewarding. He added that the IAF's efforts in completing COVID-related tasks was a major accomplishment. The air display commenced with flag-bearing skydivers of the famous Akash Ganga team dropping out of AN-32 aircraft in their colourful canopies. The flypast included heritage aircraft, modern transport aircraft and frontline fighter aircraft. The function also witnessed the air display by Sukhoi Su-30 and Rafale. The ceremony concluded with spellbinding aerobatic display. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh and Army Chief General Manoj Naravane also attended the parade. Our correspondent reports that in the last 8 decades, IAF has technologically evolved and grown in strength to thwart any threat to the nation. It is committed to safeguard the Indian skies and has played a key role in providing assistance to the people of the country during natural calamities.
President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have extended greetings to the air warriors, veterans and their families on the occasion of Air Force Day today. In his message, President Kovind said the nation is proud of the Indian Air Force, which has proved its competency and capability time and again during peace and war. The President said he is confident that the Indian Air Force will continue to maintain its cherished standards of excellence. The Vice President in his message said, be it war or peace, our air warriors have always made the nation proud through their courage, professionalism and excellence. He said, may these winged warriors keep soaring, bringing glory to the nation. In his message, the Prime Minister said, IAF is synonymous with courage, diligence and professionalism. He said they have distinguished themselves in defending the country and through their humanitarian spirit in times of challenges. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also extended greetings on the Air Force Day today. The Defence Minister in his message said, the country is proud of its air warriors for responding to varied challenges with alacrity and resilience and being steadfast in the service of the nation.
More than 93 crore 17 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said that 21,257 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. A total of 24,963 people recovered from the infection in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 97.96%, which is the highest since March last year. Daily positivity rate is at 1.53%, which is less than 3% for the last 39 days. A total of 58 crore COVID tests have been conducted across the country so far. Over 94 crore 86 lakh vaccine doses have been provided by the centre to states and union territories so far. The vaccines have been given through the central government's free-of-cost channel and direct state procurement category. The Health Ministry said more than 8 crore 22 lakh balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories. As part of the central government's target of achieving 100 crore vaccination by the 15th of October, Maharashtra government today launched a special 7-day COVID-19 inoculation drive called Mission Kavach Kundal with a target to vaccinate 15 lakh people every day. More from our correspondent.
Unveiling the drive Mission Kavach Kundale, Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope said 65% of the state's eligible vaccine population received the first dose while 30% have taken both doses. He said the state has sufficient stock to vaccinate 15 lakh persons every day in this drive. Mr. Tope said that Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya spoke to him asking the state to be part of the target of achieving 100 crore nationwide vaccination. The minister said he has spoken to all district collectors and other higher authorities of every district to take this mission on war footing and make it successful. Devapriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
India and the UK have agreed to facilitate travel between the two countries. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today talked to UN Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. In a tweet, the minister said the decision will help to implement the Roadmap 2030. Earlier, British High Commissioner to India said Indians who are fully vaccinated with Covishield or any other UK-approved vaccine will not be quarantined when they arrive in Britain from the 11th of this month, thus ending the row over travel between the two countries. UK had announced travel rules which stated that Indian travellers, even those who have received both doses of Covishield vaccine, will be considered unvaccinated. Following this, India also decided to impose reciprocity on UK nationals, under which UK nationals arriving in India from the UK had to undergo the mandatory quarantine. India and Nepal reviewed implementation of ongoing cross-border railway links and overall bilateral cooperation in the railway sector in the 5th Joint Working Group and the 7th Project Steering Committee meetings in New Delhi. Both sides signed the standard operating procedures for start of passenger train services on the Jayanagar-Kurtha section and the Memorandum of Understanding for final location survey of the proposed broad gauge railway line between Raxaul and Kathmandu. The proposed Raxaul-Kathmandu broad gauge railway line will further boost connectivity between India and Nepal. Both sides agreed to enhance technical cooperation in the railway sector, including the areas of capacity building, logistic support and training of Nepali railway personnel. Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen, will be on a 3-day visit to India from tomorrow. During the visit, Ms. Frederiksen will call on President Ramnath Kovind and hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The visit by the Danish Prime Minister will give both sides an opportunity to discuss the entire gamut of bilateral relations and review the progress in implementation of the Green Strategic Partnership. Both sides will also discuss regional and international issues of mutual interest. During the virtual summit held in September last year, India and Denmark had established a Green Strategic Partnership. Ms. Frederiksen will also interact with think tanks, students and members of civil society. India and Denmark have strong trade and investment ties. More than 200 Danish companies are present in India and over 60 Indian companies have a presence in Denmark. The visit is expected to further strengthen and enhance the close and friendly ties between India and Denmark.
In Odisha, Justice Jaswant Singh and Justice Arindam Sinha today took oath as the judges of the Odisha High Court. They were administered the oath of office in secrecy by the Chief Justice of the High Court, Justice S. Muralidhar, in the new conference hall of the High Court in Cuttack. Before this appointment, Justice Jaswant Singh was working as a judge in the Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Justice Arindam Sinha was a judge in the Calcutta High Court. The new incumbent Basant Balaji was today sworn in as an additional judge of the Kerala High Court. Chief Justice of the Kerala High Court, Justice S. Manikumar, administered the oath of office to the new judge. Justice Balaji, who has specialized in constitutional matters, started practicing as a lawyer at the Kerala High Court in 1998. He also served as a senior government pleader and a standing counsel of the Kerala Financial Corporation. With the swearing in of the new judge, the strength of judges in the Kerala High Court has risen to 38.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. RBI keeps accommodative stance with unchanged key lending rates for the 8th consecutive time. Repo rate remains at 4% while reverse repo rate at 3.35%. Indian Air Force is celebrating its 89th anniversary today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister extend greetings to the Air Warriors. Over 93 crore 17 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far, recovery rate at 97.96%. Maharashtra launches week-long mission Kavach Kundale to vaccinate 15 lakh people daily from today. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia inaugurates a new terminal building at Jolly Grant Airport in Uttarakhand's Dehradun today. Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen, to be on a 3-day visit to India from tomorrow. India and Nepal review implementation of ongoing cross-border railway links and overall bilateral cooperation in New Delhi. Indian grappler Anshu Malik scripts history as she becomes the first Indian woman to win a silver medal in the World Wrestling Championships. In IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad to take on defending champions Mumbai Indians at Abu Dhabi, while Royal Challengers Bangalore to face Delhi Capitals in Dubai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said there has been a transformation of 3 C's in India's foreign policy: capabilities, credibility and context. India's rise in capabilities has been demonstrated amply during the response to COVID-19. Dr. Jaishankar said this while participating in the DD News conclave India First Foreign Policy, the making of a Vishwa Guru. He also said,
it is not protectionism. It is about building more capabilities precisely to play a greater role in the world. Now, why do we need the Atmanirbhar effort right now? Largely, if you are honest with ourselves, because we recognize that in the last 25 years, even though we have grown, our economy has grown, as a country has grown, many of our capabilities have not grown in parallel. Deep strengths which, say, China has or Japan has or Korea has, many of those deep strengths have not been built up in India, especially on the manufacturing side, not only on the manufacturing side. And there's various reasons for it. I think people have sort of fallen for a globalization mantra where we opened our markets, and instead of absorbing technology and absorbing, best practices, we simply became a market where, people were content to make profits and didn't think medium term, leave alone long term. That has changed under Prime Minister Modi.
Regarding the pivot to the Indo-Pacific, the minister said the old distinction between Indian and Pacific Ocean has vanished as New Delhi's interests extend far beyond the Indian Ocean. He said some of India's key partners in trade, connectivity and security are all in the region, and it also shares a convergence of interests with countries like US, Japan, Australia on the Indo-Pacific. He added that India is also focusing on rebuilding its historical connect with the extended neighbourhood, whether ASEAN in the east, Persian Gulf and Africa in the west. President Ramnath Kovind visited Sri Sharda Peeth in Sringeri in Karnataka today on the last leg of his 3-day visit to the state. He was accompanied by the Governor of Karnataka, Thawarchand Gehlot. After an overnight stay in Mangaluru, the President left for Sringeri this morning. In the afternoon, Mr. Kovind visited Sri Sharda Peeth, established by Adi Shankaracharya, the 8th century proponent of Advaita philosophy.
Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia has flagged off heli services at Jollygrant Airport today in Dehradun. Now air services from Dehradun to Pithoragarh, Haldwani, Srinagar, Gauchar and Chiliasore will be operational. It will be a boost for the tourism sector in the hill state. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Minister attended a drone festival organized by the Drone Festival of India in Dehradun today. A discussion on drone technology was also held on this occasion, and various types of drones were exhibited. Mr. Scindia said he was delighted by the ideas. He said that this festival would take the drone sector in the country to a greater height. Minister of State, Civil Aviation, Road Transport and Highways V.K. Singh and Chief Minister of Uttarakhand Pushkar Singh Dhami were also present on the occasion. In Bihar, polling is underway peacefully for the third phase of Panchayat elections amidst tight security. Polling, which began at 7 a.m., will continue till 5 p.m. Polling is being held in 50 blocks spread over 35 districts including Patna, Buxar and Madhubani today. In all, 81,616 candidates are in the fray. 3,144 candidates have been elected unopposed. No untoward incident has been reported from any part of the state. For the first time, EVMs are being used in Panchayat polls in the state. Bihar State Election Commission has asked authorities to strictly follow COVID protocols during polling. Counting of votes will be taken up on the 10th and 11th of October.
The Environment Ministry today said the paddy straw generated in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh is expected to come down significantly this year. The total paddy straw generation is likely to come down by 1.31 million tonnes in Punjab, 0.8 million tonnes in Haryana and 0.09 million tonnes in the 8 NCR districts of UP. The total quantity of straw generated by these states was 28.4 million tonnes last year, which is now expected to come down to 26.21 million tonnes this year. Minister of State for Railways Darshana Jardosh has dedicated the new version of the song Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, sung by all railway employees and officers. The new version has been prepared by railway employees and officers This is part of the initiatives being undertaken by the ministry to celebrate the 75th anniversary of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and to showcase the Indian Railways' achievements, developments and integration on pan-India basis. Speaking on the occasion, Ms. Jardosh said as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, this song represents unity in diversity. The new version of the song would not only motivate the railway employees but also the entire nation.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen now to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
October is the death anniversary of a great freedom fighter, revolutionary and crusader, Jai Prakash Narayan, who was popularly called JP. It is said the nationalist leader, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad's call to lift up to the skies like leaves before a storm drew JP to the freedom movement. Maulana Azad had called for giving up English education. Jai Prakash took his words to heart and left Patna College with just 20 days remaining for his examination and joined Bihar Vidyapeeth, a college run by the Congress. After completing his course, he decided to go to the United States for further studies, where he took up odd jobs to pay for his college fee. As a result, he developed a natural affinity towards the working class, which remained all through his life.
JP, also known as Lok Nayak, returned to India in 1929 and called upon the people to take advantage of the World War II to stop the British exploitation of India and to overthrow the colonial government. He protested against the recruitment of Indian soldiers for the British Army and was imprisoned for 9 months. After his release, he met Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose.
JP joined the Congress at the invitation of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He was also a member of the Congress Socialist Party, which worked underground to promote the campaign for freeing India from British rule. He actively participated in the freedom struggle and led the Quit India movement in 1942 when all the senior leaders had been arrested. He, too, was soon arrested under the Defence of India rules, a preventive detention law that did not require trial. He was put in the Hazaribagh Central Jail. JP and his fellow prisoners planned to escape from the jail. Their chance came soon on Diwali in November 1942, when a large number of guards were on leave because of the festival. It was a daring escape which made JP a folk hero.
After nearly 1 year of hunt, JP was arrested in Amritsar on September 18, 1943, while on his way to Rawalpindi to meet Frontier Gandhi, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. He was taken to Lahore Fort, which was notorious as a torture chamber. 16 months of mental and physical torture followed. JP was put in solitary confinement for the first month. This was followed by interrogation, physical torture and humiliation. In January 1945, he was transferred from Lahore Fort to Agra Jail. When Mahatma Gandhi insisted that he would begin negotiations with the British rulers only after an unconditional release of Ram Manohar Lohia and Jai Prakash, they were released on 12th April 1946. JP breathed his last on 8th October 1979 in Patna. He dedicated himself totally to Mahatma Gandhi's ideal of Sampurna Swarajya or total revolution.
ऊंच नीच पर आधारित जाति प्रथा को खत्म किया जाए। अब समय आ गया है इस कलंक को मिटा दें और भाईचारे और समानता को अपना आदर्श बनाएं और अपने जीवन में उतारें। इसी तरह शादी, जन्म मृत्यु से जुड़े हुए भी कुछ और बुरे रिवाज हैं। संपूर्ण क्रांति के द्वारा इन्हें भी खत्म किया जाना चाहिए।
JP pursued his efforts towards people's participatory governance and corruption-free value-based public life. His integrity, towering reputation, and his self-effacing simplicity endeared him to the nation.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
स्वाधीनता आंदोलन के दौरान भारतीय जनमानस को उद्वेलित कर स्वतंत्रता का अलख जगाने और मातृभूमि के प्रति सेवा, समर्पण और त्याग की ज्वाला प्रज्वलित कर देने वाले अमर गीतों पर आधारित विशेष कार्यक्रम आजादी के तराने सुनना न भूलें। FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर प्रत्येक शुक्रवार शाम 4:45 पर परिक्रमा कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत आजादी के तराने सिर्फ आकाशवाणी पर।
Indian grappler Anshu Malik has scripted history as she became the first Indian woman to win a silver medal in the World Wrestling Championships. Anshu lost to Olympic medalist Helen Maroulis of the USA 4-1 in the summit clash of women's 57 kg category at Oslo in Norway yesterday. Anshu Malik is a two-time Asian Championship medalist, which includes gold and a ranking series silver medalist. In IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad will take on defending champions Mumbai Indians at Abu Dhabi, while Royal Challengers Bangalore will face Delhi Capitals in Dubai today. Both matches will begin at 7:30 p.m. Earlier in the day, Punjab Kings defeated Chennai Super Kings by 6 wickets at Dubai International Stadium.
Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen has said the country does not seek military confrontation but will do whatever it takes to defend itself. According to a private news agency, Mr. Ing-wen made the statement today amid high tensions in the country over the latest hostile policies initiated by Beijing and the Xi Jinping-led regime in recent years. Earlier, Taiwan's defense minister expressed concerns that China could launch full-scale invasion as early as 2025. Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius while maximum expected to be 35 degrees. Mumbai will have generally rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. It recorded minimum temperature of 25 degrees while maximum expected to be 35. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The lower limit of temperature was 26 degrees, while upper limit is expected to be nearly 32. Kolkata is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The city noted minimum temperature of 27 degrees, maximum expected to be around 34. Visakhapatnam will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Hyderabad temperature will hover between 23 and 32 degrees. Bengaluru will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. RBI keeps accommodative stance with unchanged key lending rates for the 8th consecutive time. Repo rate remains at 4% and reverse repo rate at 3.35%. Indian Air Force celebrating its 89th anniversary today. President, Vice President, Prime Minister extend greetings to the air warriors. Over 93 crore 17 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate at 97.96%. Maharashtra launches week-long mission Kavach Kundale to vaccinate 15 lakh people daily from today. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia inaugurates new terminal building at Jolly Grant Airport in Uttarakhand's Dehradun today. Prime Minister of Denmark Mette Frederiksen to be on a 3-day visit to India from tomorrow. India and Nepal review implementation of ongoing cross-border railway links and overall bilateral cooperation in New Delhi. Indian grappler Anshu Malik scripts history as she becomes first Indian woman to win a silver medal in World Wrestling Championships. And with that, we end the midday news.